she told me about this town in Northern California called Bolinas, and it sounded so fabulous that I really wanted to visit. And so the first time we came up to visit, we went to a couple of parties, and it was just the most intelligent, beautiful people that really knew how to celebrate their lives, and right in the most gorgeous area of Northern California, an hour drive north of San Francisco, I felt like I'd found nirvana. Bolinas, Bolinas, you're the little town set down beside the sea. You're the little town that means so much to me.
Bolinas is a popular beachfront town which successfully fended off the tourist invasion and the push to become a typical Santa Cruz or Santa Barbara in order to keep their quirky and artistic community.
Whatever we want to be. I think this Bolinas is it's a fabulous experiment, and many ideals of the 60s that we had in the 60s are still happening.
In the 70s, Bolinas, although already filled with unique characters and artists, was flooded with environmental activists coming to save its wildlife. There was a terrible oil spill off the coast, which was widespread news. The hippies living in San Francisco came to Bolinas to help with the disaster, and many ended up settling there since the community fit them so well.
Well, the 70s was the major thing that redefined the culture here, and that still in a great way defines it.
I just feel really, really lucky and very grateful to be in such a creative community that can provide and sustain a really high level and a good level of cultural activity. The idea of organics, the idea of sustainability, the idea of mutual respect.
We just weren't intimidated by people telling us it couldn't be done. If we had an idea, we found a way to do it. During that very creative period, there was music, there was theater here, there was incredible art. The Bolinas Crafts Guild was young people from all over the country were coming to be apprentices. It was an amazing time of dynamic people, and a lot of it was the young people. And the older people were very upset by what the young people had done in co-opting the whole town. Today, we're all glad it happened.
The community of Bolinas continues to care for nature and protect the surrounding lands with their consciousness. They come together as a group when there is crisis and always respect their mother nature.
Just look at, the native habitat that's around here, whether it's the ocean, the lagoon, the forest, the marshland. It all, intertwines into this beautiful mosaic of habitats that all come together just in this one small area.
Protecting the land, you can pretty much get people to agree on.
The natural world just kind of encompasses Bolinas.
There was a local plan to turn the Bolinas Lagoon into a yacht harbor with casinos and hotels, and a group of really amazing people. I'd say they were in their 50s and 60s then, very capable. They are the ones who really created the movement that stopped all this, but it came very close.
Not in my backyard. I'm here, you ain't moving in. It's screwing up my pot crop, my mushroom crop, my bullshit crop.
It could have turned into San Diego or Santa Barbara so easily.
My town has a bad reputation for fending off a tourist invasion.
And at that time, they also went to the community to create a community plan. And they made sure these people who were very active, and it was a huge amount of people, that they went to every household and got this community plan in place, which stated the value of the wildlife and protecting this land. And also, during that time, it was tearing down the road signs so that the tourists couldn't find the town.
There's a sign pointing which way to go, but pretty soon that sign won't be there no more. The sign has got to go, says the Border Patrol. that's what Bolinas, unfortunately, can suffer from. It can suffer from xenophobia and a feeling of exclusivity, as if, you know, oh, we're better than anybody else, and, you know, and over the hill is a complete toxic waste, you know. And I think that can be a problem, because what we really want in Bolinas, we don't want to keep everybody out of Bolinas. We just want the really interesting people who are interested in new ideas and what we're doing to come here and visit, to find their way here.
And you know, it does have a feel of a kind of a hippie culture, I will say, as opposed to like an exclusive culture, though. Just in town, you know, lots of tie-dyes and long hair, and you know, that kind of stuff. So I would say that's actually not exclusive. To me, that's more of a welcoming community.
We don't like the run-of-the-mill outsiders, but we love the people who can contribute, who bring us good energy and good ideas, and that's what we get. That's what we really get.
But the women and the men that I have met here, particularly those that have been surfing here a long time, are really wonderful folks.
What I like about Bolinas is living by the waterside, by the ocean. When I get really stressed out, I can walk down to the beach and walk barefooted in the sand and in the cool water, and it just relieves so much stress. It's really wonderful.
I spend a tremendous amount of time at the beach. I found the beach is the place, the holy spot in Bolinas. It's where it's really sanctified, and I totally understand what the surfers are talking about.
Bolinas has the patch, which, you know, is a long paddle out, and that territory can be on like a head-high south swell with the right tide. You know, 100-meter ride, and then you get off that like an escalator and paddle back out again, and just lather, rinse, and repeat.
And it's the church. The Church of Bolinas is at the beach. That's where the state of grace is. It extends about 50 feet, but then as soon as you get into normal human society, it's lost. And once you get back into society.
There's no place to park. Our beach is small. We don't have many restrooms. People were coming and leaving beer bottles, and you know, there wasn't a lot of consciousness.
Well, there are no regulations, and therein lies a problem.
The only thing we have that is any kind of a structure is our water board. We don't have a mayor, we're not incorporated, but we have the water board.
The more we can help ourselves and police ourselves and act as our own cops. You know, I mean, the police department is the last resort. The sheriff's department is the last resort.
People from outside Bolinas come here because the Bolinas community is very accepting of homeless.
They tell their friends, they go, hey, we'll go out to Bolinas. All's well and everything, you know, just chill out, whatever.
Because we're such a small community, it's hard to be anonymous and homeless at the same time. Usually everybody knows what everybody's up to. So I think we really have here an outreach to the homeless, and we really try and help them out.
What about us that need help and they're putting people in front of us? It's not the right thing to do.
You don't know who somebody is by looking at them. You never know who they are by how they're dressed.
Instead of people being, you know, lost in the wasteland of American society, they can come here and make art. And, you know, once again, it goes along with my whole philosophy of raising vibratory level with art and beauty. It's my honor to kind of like transmit some of my ideas about art making to the other people. Like you see right in the community center right now, there's a beautiful group of people being creative, and for a little bit they're forgetting their worries.
So our community center is really alive. There's lots of classes that happen, and there's a rich array of cultural events.
I decided that I would put a big heart-like shape on the back wall, which you can see is over there, and then I would get as many people as I could in Bolinas to paint small little square tiles. I'm going to applique these onto the big heart that's right there, and I'm going to kind of pixelate it, and I'm going to pepper all over the whole heart. There's going to be all these beautiful little pink squares. The shape is love, the color is pink, and the subject is why I love Bolinas. The free box. Why I love Bolinas. The free box.
Well, the free box, as you can see, it's kind of a mess today, and sometimes it's very neat and tidy. It's basically a resource for a lot of people. I can't tell you how many times I've seen somebody wearing a wonderful piece of clothing, maybe a whole outfit, and I say, "Where did you get that?" And she'll say, "Oh, the free box."
I've given a lot of stuff to the free box, and I've also seen just absolute must-haves.
And it's tended by the free box fairies. I'm not sure who they are right now. I know when I come in, I'll stop sometimes and just take 20 minutes or so and hang things up and fold things. And then it becomes a social occasion because I'll see, like I just did, 2 or 3 people that are friends and we'll stop and chat.
We're members of the world community. We all need to get together.
See, all it is just recycling junk from our overabundant lives.
And I think what allows it to happen here is that we're more connected to each other here. We're small. We're a small place. And so more people have significant connections with each other in town.
It's a really nice place.
Slipping and sliding on the Pacific